Hey guys, are you worthless? Have you achieved nothing in life? And do you feel that you are stuck and because of that you have no value? And that you are a worthless and unaccomplished person? Well, today I am here, Bart Coppens, and this time I come without any insects or moths. Today I come to talk about a very common societal problem. A problem that's common among our generation. The feeling of being useless or unaccomplished. And I feel like we need to have a talk about this, especially if you identify with this issue. Let's get started, please. You listen. Our society right now is a difficult place to live in, isn't it? Society is structured in such a way that it accommodates the needs of certain individuals, dare I say, the average person. But the problem with averages is that if you take an average, you will leave a lot of it out. If I have a house and one of the rooms in my house is 70 degrees Celsius and the other room is freezing, then on average my house is room temperature. But that doesn't mean that I would like to live there. Do you get my point? And that's how society functions. It accommodates the needs of the average. And I feel like a lot of people of my generation, including me in the past, struggle with the fact that they often feel unaccomplished. Because my YouTube channel is growing, I get to meet a lot of people in my life. From different backgrounds, some of them rich, some of them poor, some of them more successful than others, to society's standard. And you get a lot of perspectives and opinions. And one thing I noticed among young people that concerns me is they often approach me and say, well, Bart, I feel worthless. I feel like a worthless human being. I haven't accomplished anything in my life. Well, I beg to differ. You see, today I'm going to sit here and argue with you about this. Because I feel like the way we value things in our life is very disproportional to the amount of effort that it takes us. For example, think about it. What is it nowadays that would make you feel accomplished? You would feel accomplished if you have a good job, a career. You would feel accomplished if you go to school. You would feel accomplished if you build a family, if you own your own house, if you are an independent person. But outside of that, we don't really look at people's developments and accomplishments. And here is my way to word it, for example. Imagine that you struggled with alcoholism for years. Maybe you've been an alcoholic. And suddenly, you manage to get sober, you stop drinking. This really improves your life a lot. But those people wouldn't really feel accomplished. Because it seems to me that our society only values accomplishments, especially in terms of money. But isn't it a huge accomplishment if you stop drinking? Isn't that the same as going to school and finishing a very difficult degree? Imagine you have social anxiety and you struggle to make friends because you are shy or anxious. And suddenly you get the guts to approach someone and you make a friend. Maybe after years of loneliness and anxiety, you manage to make a friend. Now that is, if you ask me, that is an accomplishment. Yet it's not something people would like to brag about, because we see it as worthless. Because things like that are very hard to quantify in terms of money, and that is really how we define success. But I doubt it. I doubt that you never accomplished anything. And I used to feel the same about myself. I sometimes still have a very negative self-esteem. I know on YouTube I can be very cocky, but I guarantee you my cockiness is just an attitude to hide the fact that I am insecure. And I always thought that I was somewhat of a loser. I still think I am in many ways. But if you think about it, I also accomplished things. For example, I got many people interested in insects. But somehow I also always had the feeling that the things I do, my YouTube channel, are worthless. Because they don't really measure up to the standards we use to define success. For example, I breed butterflies and moths. I discover a lot of life cycles of insects that are unknown to science. Yes, I really do sometimes. But that doesn't really always feel like an accomplishment, because I don't really gain anything from that, except maybe knowledge. And it turns out that I was conditioned to things that don't make money, to think that things that don't make money are worthless and not accomplishments. But if you think about it, it's an accomplishment. Now, I talk trash about myself so often, and I think I can give myself a compliment about my accomplishments today. I traveled the world to study insects. I've inspired a lot of people to like insects, to study them, maybe help them get over their fear of moths. I collected a lot of knowledge about the insects I care about. And if I think about the things I achieved in my life, always I'm met with mixed feelings. Because despite all the things I do, well, I'm still financially dependent on my parents right now. I'm 27. And if you think about it in some ways, that's kind of pathetic, don't you think? It means I'm helpless. And maybe now I'm not in the spot where I want to be in life right now, but I'm not unaccomplished. And I will admit it on YouTube that I have accomplished things and I'm proud to admit it. And it took me a long time to come to terms with this. And I think a lot of people of my generation feel the same. Should feel the same. If you struggled with depression for years and you defeat it, that's an accomplishment, man. Maybe you didn't get a fancy car, or a good career, or a job. But maybe this was harder for you. Maybe it is harder for someone with social anxiety to make a friend than it is for someone to go to college. And yet we value the latter, we value it more. Because that's what more or less relates to, well, materialism, right? Like, it doesn't matter what you do. If it's not bringing any money on the table, we don't value it as an accomplishment. Well, I'm here to tell you that's bullshit, in my opinion. I think people should value things in life more. The things that they accomplish. Things that are not so narrowly defined by society. And thinking about it, all the things that people value, that people see as accomplishments, they aren't even things that I want. If you think of a successful person, what do you imagine? Someone who is attractive, someone who has a family, someone who owns his own property. And sure, we all want to live comfortably. We all strive to have an income level, a level of materialism where we feel comfortable. But I also think a lot of things are imposed upon us by society. Do I want to get married? Do I want to have children? I'm not so sure. I don't think I do. But for a long time, when I was growing up as a teenager, I was conditioned to think that that was the ultimate goal of life. You have to get married, you have to get a good job, you have to make a lot of money, and that's what makes you successful, that's what makes you accomplished. And if you don't, you are a loser. I disagree, man. There's other ways in life to be accomplished. And maybe they don't all express themselves in monetary value. This is a very simple revelation, but still one that took me 27 years to realize. And that's just strange if you ask me. I don't know why that is. But I'm here to share this message with you today. Because I wish I would have known this for longer. And maybe this helps people who need to hear it. If you're stuck in life, if you feel less successful than others, maybe you have health issues, maybe you have mental issues, maybe you're just very lazy, maybe you're not even very intelligent. I mean, that's possible. Being unintelligent sucks, but it doesn't mean that you cannot be accomplished. I think everybody can accomplish things relative to their own abilities, you know. Imagine you struggle with your weight. And maybe after 10 years of trying different diets, you finally manage to get your body down to a healthy weight. That's an accomplishment, right? That's a major accomplishment, if you ask me. That's a major mental obstacle to overcome. Defeating things like loneliness, addiction, those are huge and major accomplishments. And we should value the little things in life more. So I really doubt it. I really doubt you are worthless, to be honest. I think you accomplished a lot. If you are suffering, if you are struggling, and you still find the willpower to try and improve your life in some ways, and you manage to do it, then you are accomplished, man. But it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to do with overcoming obstacles. It's also small things. Inspiring people is an accomplishment. Educating people is an accomplishment. Gathering, I don't know, a platform for your opinions that people agree to, being a source of inspiration. Those things are accomplishments, but we don't value them because they don't make money. Just had to get it off my chest. It's strange because my YouTube channel is about insects and nature, but sometimes I just have these moods and I just have to share my opinion so badly. And sometimes it's completely unrelated to what my channel is really about. Hey, but this is YouTube, okay? YouTube is not scientific, YouTube is entertainment. And my channel is called Bart Coppens. Not because it's only about butterflies and moths, but also because it's a little bit about me as a person. Sometimes I have other things to say that don't relate to my hobbies. Yeah, that's about it. I feel better now, and I hope you needed to hear this. See ya.